What's up, guys? It's Matty here at mixandmastermysong.com. Today, we're going to answer the simple question, do you need a drum bus? The answer is yes. Producers spend lots of time crafting their drums and the sound that they're trying to go for. So the last thing you want to be is the guy who goes and changes that and makes it sound like not the way they intended. So I use drum buses a lot now to make the drums bigger and feel thicker, but not take away from the sound the producer intended to give you, or for the song. So let's jump in today, and I'll show you how I set up my drum bus, and maybe a few tips and tricks that might help you, achieve making the drum sound bigger, but not taking away from the vibe. Let's go. Okay, so here you can see we got this simple little mix, just, a kick, snare, hi-hat, and a bongo. 808's there, we probably won't use it, but it's from the song Big Joints by Meekins. You can actually get my full course of this where I take you through the whole entire mix, but let's just check out the drums right now so you can hear what we got. These are just flat, no sounds, nothing, no EQ or compression, nothing EQ, no reverb, nothing, so flat. So pretty straightforward drum loop, sounds dope. You don't want to mess it up too much, but we do want to make it hit a bit harder. So usually what I do with all my drums is I put the kick and the snare through a drum aux, and I'll show you the auxes in a second. And then any high percussion or stuff that isn't like the main elements of the drums, like the kick and the snare, goes through my high percussion bus, which is on the hi-hats, and the bongos go in there too. Okay, so now if we move over to our buses, these are all my buses that I use on just about every song. And then here is my drum aux bus. So our kick and snares coming in here, and then our hi-hats and percussion stuff is going here to the high percussion bus, right? Now, I have this set up in a way that I can do a couple different things. Sometimes I might add a bit of compression on the drums right here. Like for instance, a lot of times I'll use the API 2500, the UAD version, and I'll just tap the drums. Let's see, we'll do a quick release, not too fast of an attack, and I like to use the medium setting on the tone, and let's just play it. So all that's doing is just kind of gluing the drums together a little bit better, making them feel a little more punchy. You got to be careful with compression and low end because you can suck all your low end out. So you can tell I'm barely tapping 2 dB of gain reduction at most on the drum bus, on the actual drums of the drum bus. I'll get into the parallel stuff in a second. So that's one thing I would do. I might add some harmonic stuff, and depending really what the song needs, I might add like 5 or 6 plugins here, or no plugins at all. So it all just kind of depends. The next thing, these all, as you can see, have sends on them. And one goes to drums PC, which is drums parallel compression. The next is drums distortion, which is a distortion effect that I have if I need it. And then the last one is this drums transient. And what that is this transient booster. I actually picked this one up from Jason Joshua on his Instagram, that he sends all his drums to a transient designer if needed, and it's awesome. Especially I find this useful towards the end of a mix when you got all your elements in and you maybe need your drums just to push a little bit harder and cut through the mix a touch. You can bring this up, just a bit, and it will push the kick and snare through the mix just a touch, and it really helps pull things along. I love that idea. So anyway, I have that. Then I have this drums distortion, which is the Devil Lock, and that's just a small amount of mix. You can write down the settings if you want. Distortion on drums can really help make them a lot more lively and push them into a mix better and just bring some real cool energy. It doesn't work on every mix. I like it more on rock stuff sometimes, but on hip hop stuff, if you're going for that like Kanye sound or stuff like that, or just if you just need a little dirt, you can add a little bit or a lot. It depends. So all these are just, you know, different colors that I can add to the drums, but not, like I said, we still have this main bus natural like it was sent from the producer, so we're not taking away from what the producer wanted, right? Okay, and then the last one is drums parallel compression, which I've been using the Zener limiter lately. I'll use the SSL, so if you just have like wave stuff, you can use the SSL compressor for this. Does the same thing. What we're doing though is hitting the drums super hard, and it will just pulls all the dynamics together, so they really punch through strongly. So what we'll do is I'll play it so you guys can hear that. I'll bring this up. So you hear it pulls through a little bit much. You can tell what I did. What I tend to do is I bring it up so I can really hear it, and then I scale it down quite a few dB. I just want it to punch through a little bit more because you know, if you have too much parallel, it can change the tone of what you're doing. So you kind of lose the effect of what you're trying to do, which is just make the drums punch through a bit more. What I'll do now is just go through these last two, and so you can hear what those are doing too. So pretty cool stuff. You can do a lot just with just using those three things, not adding any other elements or stuff. It can really help bring the drum sound out without changing what the intended producer had, which is so important nowadays, especially because everyone's really in love with their rough mix. You know what I mean? So like if you take their rough mix and make it a whole different thing, chances are you're never going to get hired by that client again. So just a word of wisdom is make the rough mix better. You know what I mean? So if you got any questions or comments, please leave them in the below. Please like the video and subscribe if you can. If you need me to mix and master your song, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. If you want to see the course of this song, the full mix of the song, I take you through the whole mix. Check out the course at my website as well. Thanks.